What is going on, everybody? Nick Albrizzi here, back. Week 5 NFL picks and predictions. Already October 1st. That's how fast the first 4 weeks of the season has went. I mean, wow. I mean, that's crazy. So I'm going to get right into it this week. Bye weeks have begun. There's pros and cons of buys. The pros are, there's less games to predict because the videos take a little bit longer when I do that. But I mean, nonetheless, it doesn't really matter to me. But I'm 46-18 on the year. I went 10-5 last week. I mean, because we had the tie, so there was 15 games, and then the 16 games, but we had the tie in there. So 10-5. If Green Bay would have won that, then I could have went 11-4, whatever. So really, that doesn't affect my record when there's a tie in there. My record, you can't add that up. You can't say, well, he's because I had a winner and you can't predict a tie. So, so my pick 'em, pull 'em in where the top 2 people get prizes. Through 4 weeks, I'm in second place. So that's it's pretty good. And actually, believe it or not, out of 10 people in that, my dad's won. He'll be on this video eventually soon. Get him on one of these weeks upcoming. He's 1 and I'm 2, and then somebody else is like he's 3 is like 4 picks behind me. So it's crazy. It's crazy how we're dominating that so far. But all right, let's get into it. Like I said, bye weeks. There's the teams who are on buys this week are Falcons, Bears, Packers, Steelers. So it's 2 less games to predict. So try to get this video over within 2 more minutes, and I usually have them. So I know people like shorter videos, including myself. All right, so here we go. Thursday night football tomorrow night. 49ers, Rams. Rams are 7.5. Over-under is 49.5. Believe it or not, we're going to kick this off with the lock of the week. I know there's a couple games. There's actually quite a few games this week you say that are locks, but this is the number 1 game I believe is the lock here. Rams, Stafford versus Mac Jones. All you got to say is because Brock Purdy's out. The Niners, they lost last week to the Jags. I didn't think that was going to happen, but that might be their downfall a little bit. You know what I mean? Because, they were 3-0, but nobody really feared them, including myself. So now they're getting worse, and they have to go to the Rams. And the Rams know they need to win this game. So Rams lock here. I'd say this game's like a 31-14 type of game. I just can't see how the 49ers are going to get any momentum going in this game. I mean, you might have McCaffrey, but one guy ain't going to be the difference here. You know what I mean? So I just feel like this is a game where coming into the year, I think people thought this is a promising game. If everybody's healthy, but nah, turn back in the 2024 week 10-12 49ers, because they started getting hurt last year, like middle to late year, and now this is the hurt Niners squad. So Rams win, lock of the week. And on to Sunday, another international one, London, 9:30 a.m. Vikings, Browns, over-under is 36.5. Vikings are 3.5. Yeah, I mean, the Vikings, they played like shit last week in the first 3 quarters, but they decide to wake it up in the fucking last quarter. I don't understand it. That you just don't play like that all game. The offense couldn't get shit going, which has been a theme all fucking season. I just don't understand it. The defense was okay. I guess when I was that long touchdown to Metcalf, it was okay. But there's no Van Ginkel. The offensive line is fucking horrible. Everybody's hurt. We have two guys in there that are starters, Garrett Shaw and Will Fries. Ryan Kelly was a god-awful signing at center. He was supposed to be great, but he's fucking hurt. He's always been solid with the Colts, but he's ever since he came here, forget about it. Donovan Jackson, a rookie, he'll be back after the bye. Brian O'Neill, we dodged a bullet. He'll be back after the bye, so he's only missing a game. But They're giving up sack after sack. Um, I just don't understand it. It just makes me sick. And you know what? It's not even McCarthy's fault. Just Wentz is taking sacks. He's put up numbers because he had Addison back and he played Cincy the week before. And Jefferson had a big week. It's going to start opening up for him with Addison back. But it wasn't that. This O line, no quarterback can succeed under that. Against Atlanta, it's when it started to get banged up. When we had guys hurt. So McCarthy, he couldn't succeed under that. He'll be back after the bye. I think he's going to be fine. I mean, it might not be the first 3 games back. He's going to be fine. It might take 5 games. Every quarterback learns different. But for right now, we're going to pick this game. Dylan Gabriel is starting for the Browns. I think that's an advantage for this Brian Flores defense against rookie quarterbacks. He dominates them. I'm more scared of Sanders anyway than Gabriel, so I'm surprised, Sanders isn't the starter. Flacco would have been, nice to sack, but he could beat you with his arm. I think this game's going to be hella low scoring. It's sad that it's came to this point that I think a Vikings-Browns game is going to be close. Coming into the year, I know we're injured and banged up, I understand that, but coming into this year, the Vikings had them winning this game by 17 points. But now I want to say 24-14. I'm going to give the Vikings a 10-point win. They're already overseas. That's the advantage. The Browns had to travel. The Vikings have... I don't have a bad taste in my mouth like I did after the Falcons game because that was just a fucking embarrassment. This Steelers game, at least the Steelers are still a decent team. So, it was a good ending. So, the Vikings, I don't think they're going to lose both games overseas like that before a bye week. So, they're going to get the must-see to win to go to 3-2. So, I mean, it is what it is. You win that game, you're 3-2. If you weren't hurt, I think this team would have been better at this rate, but 3-2 is not the worst outcome. It's better than 1-4 at the bye. All right, then the 1 o'clock games. Raiders, Colts, Indy 6. Here's another lock scenario. Indy 6.5, over under 47.5. The Colts here, they're going to bounce back. They should have won last week, but that fucking receiver, he dropped the ball before going in the end zone. They should have beat the Rams, really. The Raiders just don't have enough firepower on offense. They win week 1, and they haven't done shit since. They took the Bears to the wire last week, but it's the Bears. So I say the Colts come back home here and win. I think Jonathan Taylor has a big game. I saw the Raiders' defense against the run is pretty bad. So I'm going to say Colts win this game here. I'm going to say 30-17. Yeah, it's just one of those games. It's just one of those games going into it. I think the Raiders have no chance. On paper, it might look like they have a chance with some of their skilled guys and Genty, but I just don't think they have a chance at all. So Indy wins. Then we got I don't even know what you want to call this, the shit bowl, the battle for the first pick, the worst team in the NFC, you name it. But Giants, Saints in New Orleans. Saints are 1.5, over under 41.5. Never thought I'd see the Saints are favored in the game, but that's why the only reason why, because Malik Neighbors is out for the year. But I'm still going to take the Giants. Because Rattler fucking sucks. He can't win a game. I mean, that was fixed last week. See how NFL's fixed? They're hanging with the Bills and shit. Majority of this is fixed, man. I mean, let's face it. There's no way in God's world that the Saints should have stuck in there with the Bills for 3.5 quarters. So that's why I think the Giants win this game. I just think they're the better team. I think they have better skilled players. I just don't like Rattler. And Dart starting, again. There is that sense they could, after that big win last week, they could lay an egg here. But the Saints, I can't trust them to pick. It's it's embarrassing for me to sit here and take, the Saints. It's embarrassing. So Giants win. I'm going to say Giants win 20-16. It might maybe a Dart game-winning drive, something like that. But, the Saints, they're awful. So, all right, then we have the Cowboys at the Jets. Dallas is 2.5, over-under is 47.5. This game right here, too, to me, the Jets, they need a win bad. They really need a win bad. But I think Dallas, they looked decent last week, even with that banged up, that banged up defense, and that their defense is god awful. And you know, CD being out, but I still think they're able to move the ball, and I just think the Jets don't have enough firepower. So I'm going to say Cowboys win this game here. I think it's going to be like a 24-20. I still think it's going to be a close game because it's outdoors. Dallas outdoors isn't the same team, but I still think they get the win. So Cowboys win. But, that game might be an underrated game. Then we got the Broncos at the Eagles. Eagles are 3.5. Over-under is 43.5. Yeah, I mean, and that's another tough one to choose, though, because I think the Eagles win because they're home. Denver's on a short week. And I just don't think Denver's offense will put up enough here. Their defense might keep them in it. Don't get me wrong. But I just think, the Eagles are home. They don't lose at home. They find ways to fucking win games. It's the same thing when they're home. But I wouldn't be shocked here if Denver's defense keeps them in it and maybe the Eagles go on the field for a game-winning drive. But I really think this game is going to be like close because Denver's defense. If Denver's defense was shit and their offense is on the fence, then I think the Eagles will win here in a 10 to 17 point game. But yeah, this game right here is just the defense's factor into it. So I say the Eagles win though. I say Eagles win this game 27-20. Like I said, it might be 20-17 Broncos going into the fourth quarter, and then the Eagles just score like 10 unanswered points. I just, don't get me wrong, I'm tired of seeing the Eagles win games. I mean, I would love to see Denver win, but I just don't see it happening. Now if this game was in Denver, okay, I probably would take the Broncos, but it's in Philly. So next game, Dolphins at Panthers. Miami is 1.5. Over-under is 44.5. No Tyreek. He's out for the year as well. That's a huge loss. I mean, I know he's not the same guy as he once was, but it's still Tyreek Hill, and you're missing him on your offense, and I got to rely on Waddle. So that's going to be tough. They had a big game from Waller last week, but we'll see what happens to him. The Panthers, they got their doors blown off from last week, but they're back home. And, the last time they were back home, they annihilated Atlanta. That's why I think the Panthers win this game right here. I know my buddy, he ain't going to like this because he said, don't take him. But I just can't trust Tua. And their offense got weaker. Miami's defense stinks. I just think, the Panthers coming back home, they got to win this game. Like this is the perfect opportunity. This feels like a scheduled win for them for some reason. So I think it's going to be a lower scoring battle. I'm going to say like a 19-16. I have a weird feeling it's going to be like a low score. Now, if Tyreek plays, I take Miami. But I think it's going to be a lower scoring game because, both of these teams, their offenses are like subpar, I guess you want to put it that way. But I just think the Panthers being home, they'll be able to do things and hit T-Mac. So, I mean, it's that game is going to be a boring, interesting game. Boring, interesting meaning like it should be a good ending, but it'll be like a boring game, but interesting. Then we got Texans at the Ravens. Houston's 1.5. Over-under is 40.5. So, no Lamar, the Ravens are a hospital right now, man. They're in jeopardy to even, wow, they're just, I don't know what's going on over there. So, if Lamar plays, I would have been taking the Ravens here, but he's not, so I'm taking Houston. Houston, their defense, they looked great last week. Their offense finally scored over 20 points. So, I'll take the Texans here. I think the Texans win this game. I still think it's going to be close because it's in Baltimore, and Cooper Rush isn't bad. He's serviceable. So I'm going to take the Texans here 24-17. But the Ravens, I have no idea. Like they're not getting enough talked about with their bad start at 1-3. Like how the Vikings are 2-2 and people are shitting on them. Like the media says, yeah, the Vikings this, the Vikings that, but nobody's saying here, well, the Ravens are in trouble. The Steelers are 3-1. The Ravens are 1-3, and now they're without Lamar. There's none of that. Like I'm just saying, like the Vikings are all talking, shit, but Baltimore's in worse trouble, and their schedule, they have a lot of tough games coming up. So I don't understand it. Minnesota's got the better coach, like I said last week. Harbaugh sucks. So like in that scenario, if you're comparing these two teams, I think more people will trust O'Connell to turn a team around on a win streak than Harbaugh. Harbaugh can't hold a lead for shit. So they're in trouble. The Ravens, they're in trouble. But give me Houston. Yeah, 4 o'clock window. Titans, Cardinals, Arizona 7.5. There's another scenario where you could put locks down. Over under 41.5. Yeah, Arizona's gonna win here. Tennessee, Cam Ward, he hasn't looked promising yet. Arizona's just gonna throw on them. I think Marvin Harrison's gonna go nuts in this game. Tennessee's secondary is like bottom 4 in football. I saw in the fantasy app. So I think Arizona wins this game. They're gonna bounce back. They had time to prepare. I'm gonna say 27-17, and a smooth 10-point win for them. I'm not going to waste any more time on that game. Tennessee, as of right now, I think they're looking like the worst team in the league, even worse than the Saints, to be honest. Then we got the Buccaneers at the Seahawks, probably the game in the 4 o'clock window, in my opinion. Seattle's 3.5, over-under 44.5. I do like the Seahawks in this game, although, Tampa, they play hard every game, man. They almost should have won last week's game, too. But they're going across country like this. Seattle had more time to prepare. So I'm going to take the Seahawks here. I think it's going to be, this spread's, I think, exactly where it should be. 3 points. 3 points is perfect here. 3.5, whatever you want to call it. So I'll say 27-24 Seattle. That's that type of game feeling to it. It's supposed to be like over there in the weather reports. It's supposed to be 60 and breezy in Seattle. So it's going to have that fall crisp air in Seattle. So that's advanced Seahawks as well. Here's another one I'm going to blow past. This game would have been good a couple weeks ago. But Lions at Bengals. Detroit's 10.5. Over on is 49.5. The Bengals are just without Burrow, and they're just a mess. Chase is arguing with coaches. Higgins isn't getting the ball. Browning's not that good. He had that insanity run in 2023. There's 4 games, whatever it was, and that was about it. They better maybe trade for somebody, like even a Russell Wilson, maybe somebody better to at least try to save their season. I think the Lions win this game by at least 15. I'm going to say 35-20. This would have been a good game a couple weeks ago, but now I really have no interest in the game at all. And then we got Commanders, Chargers. Chargers are 2.5, over on 48.5. I think Daniels and Scary Terry are coming back. So, at least Daniels I saw he practice today. So that should be a boost. But I think the Chargers win this game at home. They bounce back. If this game was in Washington, I probably would take Washington. But I think they bounced back after losing the Giants last week. The Commanders, they lost to Atlanta, but they were banged up. So I'm gonna say Chargers win this game. I'm gonna say this is gonna be like a 21-17 type of a game, 21-18, the 3-4 point type of game. I just think it's gonna come down to the last drive. This is another game at 4 o'clock. It's gonna be a good one too. We have two good 4 o'clock ones and 2 shitty ones. So, this game. Whoever, I think it's going to come down to the quarterbacks. Whoever plays better wins this game, to be honest. I just think, if Daniels is a better game, then I think the Washington wins. I think clock management matters in this game. It just, whose offense is better. I think the Commanders' offense is better when they're fully healthy, but the Chargers' defense is better. It's another chess match. So we'll see, but I'll take the Chargers. Then we got a Sunday night game that I hate these type of games. Patriots, Bills, Buffalo 7.5, over under 49.5. The Bills have already played 2 Sunday night games already, basically, in the first 5 weeks of the year, and 3 primetime games at home in the first 5 weeks of the year. It's crazy. I just hate these games because, the Bills are not going to lose this game, and then Patriots, they're not even primetime worthy. They haven't impressed me yet. Bills are 7.5, over under 49.5, like I just said. I'll take the Bills here. I think the Bills win this game by 17, to be honest. I think last week they were screwing around a little bit. Not like screwing around, but it felt like that. I just think this week they just put a beating on them. I think it's going to be like I can't really say a blowout. I'll just say like a 10 to 14 point game. So I'll just say 34 to 23 Buffalo. I just there's better worthy games in the Sunday night game than this. Like even the Bucs Seahawks game, maybe it would have been a better game for this. But whatever. At least I get to watch Josh Allen on Sunday night. But to me, the Patriots don't excite me. They don't say, oh, if the Patriots are on the night. Until I see more from them, they will. But then we got Monday Night Football. This is a decent game. Chiefs at Jaguars. KC's 3.5. Over under 46.5. I think Kansas City wins here. I think they're starting to finally find their stride. Jacksonville are 3-1, but look who they've beaten. They've beaten the Panthers, the Texans at home, and who else do they beat? The Niners, and they lost in Cincy. So, I just think Mahomes isn't going to lose to Trevor Lawrence. So, I'll take the Chiefs. I'll say the Chiefs win this game. I'll say 30 to 21. I think a 9-point victory is good for them. Their offense finally came to life last week. They scored over 30 points. So if they continue to do that, and it's next week's the last game, then Rashee Rice will be back week 7. So at least they'll get him back, but at least that Monday night game. I hate the Monday night doubleheaders. Like next week, is there a doubleheader? Yeah, like week 6 is a fucking doubleheader. Like it's so stupid. When there's one Monday night game, okay, but when there's 2, it's like ugh. So that's all I got. Yeah, like I said, last week's video was 25 minutes. This will be like 23 when all said and done. So at least those buys are coming to dandy with video short time because it gets shorter. But all right, well, that's all I got. I'll be back here probably again either next Tuesday or Wednesday. It's a toss up. It really depends. This week I did Wednesday because nothing going on, but I like Wednesday videos because you get a better feel for the injury report and all that shit the week before. So, Tuesday you don't know anything yet. Wednesday I feel like you do. So Wednesday is when the football week starts, a new football week, in my opinion. So that's all I got. Enjoy playoff baseball. There's games going on right now. The Yankees are about to start. So stuff like that. Enjoy playoff baseball. I'll be back here next week. And that's all I got. I'll see you guys next week. As always, Skol Vikes. All right, guys. Take care.